All right, let's get right into it. You've probably heard of Daniel Kahneman's incredible book, Thinking Fast and Slow. I mean, it completely changed how we understand our own minds. But here's a thought. What if that framework, that whole mental operating system, isn't the full story? What if it's time for a major upgrade? Think about it. We've all got that fast, impulsive System 1 and that slow, logical System 2. It's a brilliant model for sure, but does it really explain our ability to make conscious, value-driven choices? Our actual human agency. That's the big question we're going to tackle right now. So here's the game plan. First, we'll look at the old OS and see where it falls short. Then, we're going to install a serious governance upgrade. We'll make sense of it all with a new metaphor, the kingdom of the self. From there, we'll get into a crucial distinction between truth and truthfulness. And finally, we'll wrap up with the amazing benefits you get when everything is in alignment. Okay, let's start on familiar ground. We're talking about the system that's probably running in your head right now, the rational thinking paradigm. This is the world Kahneman so brilliantly described.
This pretty much sums it up, right? You've got System 1, which is basically our inner animal. It's all gut reactions, emotions, impulses. Then there's System 2, the calculator. It's slow, careful, logical. But, and this is key, it's super lazy. It really doesn't want to do the heavy lifting.
And right there, that's the massive security flaw in the old OS. It creates what's called a control void. See, System 2 doesn't really govern System 1. No. More often than not, it acts like a high-priced lawyer for your inner animal, using all its smarts just to justify whatever your impulses want. It's the part of you that brilliantly calculates the loan for a fancy car your vanity craves, instead of asking, wait, why do I even feel the need for this car?
So this is where we need to do more than just a simple software patch. To really fix that control void, we have to install a brand new operating system for our minds.
And that solution is a total paradigm shift. We're moving from a simple rational thinking OS to a full-blown governance operating system. This isn't about thinking faster or even slower. It's about thinking with real authority, with structure, with purpose.
And here it is, the core of the upgrade. We're installing System 3, the steward. In the source material, the term for this is Khalifa, which means a viceroy or a steward. This is the true CEO of your mind. It's a sovereign observer that stands above the other two systems, and its job to watch the animal and the calculator and make absolutely sure that everything they do submits to a higher absolute constitution, what the framework calls a deen, or your established moral code.
Now, to make this all click, let's use a really powerful metaphor. I want you to stop thinking of your mind as just a collection of systems. Instead, picture your inner world as a kingdom that desperately needs good governance.
So, in this kingdom of the self, or the nafs as it's called, System 1 is like a noisy, chaotic, reactive bureaucracy. It's constantly generating chatter, rumors, and biased reports. System 2? That's the lazy sovereign, the king who's supposed to be in charge, but would rather just approve whatever the noisy bureaucrats put on his desk. It's easier that way. But System 3? System 3 is the sovereign steward. This is the true ruler who steps in, quiets the noise, and enforces the law of the Rand, that absolute constitution over everyone. Okay, any well-run kingdom needs to have a crystal-clear understanding of reality. And this new governance OS completely rewrites the rules by forcing us to see the difference between what seems true on the surface and what is actually true at its core. This chart really shows you just how massive this shift is. The old OS runs on pure reaction, on desire, and a hunt for whatever is easiest. Its main bug is bias. But the new governance OS, it runs on sovereign intent and protocol. It understands that friction is not a bug, it's a feature required for growth. And its main enemy isn't bias, but entropy, the failure to correct course. And look at how the roles change. Your intuitive System 1 is revealed to be an internal pharaoh, a little tyrant of impulse. And your logical System 2 is just the rationalizer, a spin doctor for that pharaoh. So how does this new OS actually process reality? Well, first, it recognizes something called a sud, or truthfulness. This is just the raw data, the surface event, the thing that happened. Imagine it's the peel of a banana, or the husk on an ear of corn. It's there, it's real, but it's not the part that nourishes you.
Because the real goal of the governance OS is to get to al-haq, the truth. This is the underlying principle, the moral reality of the situation. This is the juice you get from the orange, not the peel. The whole point of the system is to process that surface event, the husk, to get to the essential nourishment, the juice that's hidden inside.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot of work. Installing a new OS, running a kingdom in my head. So why bother? What's the payoff for actually living in this state of alignment?
Well, first, you get to activate thinking deep. The steward enforces a mandatory pause, that friction we talked about. This gives you the space to separate the real truth, the juice, from the messy emotional reaction, the husk. Second, you reclaim your agency. You stop being a slave to the easy, automated choices offered up by your internal pharaoh. You get to make real, meaningful decisions again. And finally, the ultimate prize. You achieve cognitive sovereignty, a state where what you intend to do and what you actually do are perfectly, effortlessly in sync with the truth.
Let's just pause on this for a second, because this quote nails the entire shift. The old way is about being smarter, about being a better calculator. The new way is about being aligned. It's about integrity. The focus moves from just getting a result to making sure the process itself is sound.
And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Just imagine for a moment. What happens, what becomes possible when your internal kingdom, the kingdom of yourself, isn't stuck in a constant civil war, but is finally, truly, and peacefully governed?